Well, hello there. I'm Ray, and it's been a bit since I've been on YouTube. Initially stopped posting because I was having a lot of technical issues with my editing software. For some reason, I just kept crashing and it was super annoying. But also on top of that, it felt like a lot of the content that I was making was very same. It's like I was making the same video over and over again. So for both those reasons, and also a lot of life changes, I just couldn't get myself to keep working on it. But I've been wanting to come back. I really enjoy YouTube and I would love to continue making videos. I've actually really wanted to for the past few months, but it's been really tough. A lot of things changed for me last year. I would say it was one of the worst years of my life. A lot of it, I kind of just felt like I was surviving through as opposed to really living. Long story short, got out of a relationship, moved back in with my parents, started going to school, just a lot of life changes. And on top of that, I don't really enjoy talking about current events or anything on my platforms personally because I think it's very bleak. But especially in the past year, it's felt a lot more volatile and hopeless for me, and all of those factors together kind of put me in a situation where I was really just struggling to hold on for dear life. And now it's a new year. We're in 2025, baby, and who knows what 2025 has to offer. But I think I need to just kind of do some, make some changes and try not to be in the state that I've been in. I've also really fallen into a cycle of just like consumption of like media and things. And not that that's bad, but I think there is a limit, there's like a threshold of when it starts to not be great. By consuming so much media and just really trying to what feels like dull the sensation of living. Oh god. By consuming so much, I kind of put myself into a state where I kind of felt like I was dissociating and like disconnected from reality for a while, which is not necessarily like a fun place to be, and it's not a place I like being. It's a place that I've definitely been before, and I feel like with the new year, I have a lot of like goals. I know some people scoff at the idea of New Year's resolutions and feel like it's kind of arbitrary and like kind of look down on it because a lot of people immediately forsake their goals in like the first month. But for me, I look at New Year's as a way to reflect. I was like thinking back to where I was this time last year and like the state I was in and how I was doing. So I think it's just a useful tool for that reflection. So like for myself, I identified a few areas that I would like to work on. One of those being I would like to spend more time creating. I would like to make YouTube videos, maybe draw more, write more. I've been working kind of on a VTuber model, so I'm really excited to like work on that stuff and like make more progress. And in doing those things, hopefully I can like connect with more people and like, yeah, put some stuff out into the world rather than just taking from the world. Especially because, when you're finished with some kind of creative pursuit or a project or whatever, you like have something to show for it. You have a product that you can look at. And I do think I need that kind of catharsis of like, project finished, here it is, I can look at it, and it's done. And I feel accomplished for it, and I have like a finished product. I went to an anime convention recently, Anime Los Angeles, and I was there with friends, and while I was there, I just got really inspired by everyone's costumes and like the artist alley booths and like their different products. And also just like at the con, there's this ribbon trading thing. So people make their own ribbons and bring them and you attach them to your badge. And by the end of it, you just have this long line of ribbons stuck together to your badge, and it's super cool. There's like a huge culture around that, and I wanted to participate this year. I completely forgot though, and so by the time it came around, I didn't have anything to show for it. And yeah, I still had like a nice time, but I thought it would be really cool to be able to do more next year. Have ribbons, maybe even make a cosplay or, get stuff together. I feel like cosplaying is a lot easier now. A lot more things are like readily available for purchase. I'd like to do a little more like DIY stuff rather than just like outright buying an entire cosplay. But either way, I think I need stuff to work on and I'm excited to do it. And yeah, so that's the first thing I want to work on is making more stuff. Another goal that I have for this year is to move out of my parents' place, which I currently still live at. It's been really nice and helpful to live here, but I think I'm ready to have my own space again, be able to decorate how I want and have a sense of belonging and like I have a place in the world. That's honestly a huge thing that's been missing for me the past year. I've felt very out of place. For a long time, there was like a stretch where it was like I was moving every other year, every 2 years, so I never felt like I was able to like put down roots and like decorate a place or like really have a space that feels like home. But then last year I left my relationship and I had built like a nice home that was decorated and felt like a home, and so I lost that. I would love to go back to that. I would love to have another space that is mine. I want a cat. That's big for me. I want both of those things. That would be huge. So I'm kind of planning that. That's in the works. Another thing I want to do is I definitely want to see if I can make more like local friends. I have felt very disconnected, and I think having some friends that are local to me that I don't just play games together online with would be like really like helpful and nice, and it would help me feel like I have, you know, some kind of community that's local to me. So that's definitely on the list. I also want to work more on my physical fitness. A couple of years ago, I was working out very consistently, like 3 times a week, doing some weightlifting and some cardio, like walking and stuff. And so I'd really like to get back to that. That was like a newer habit that I had built up. And like I actually managed to like train myself to be able to wake up at 7 a.m. without an alarm or anything. I would just like wake up at that time. So I definitely think I need to be doing something similar again. The mornings are like the only time I can really work out. So like by having one thing in place, by having this habit of going to bed at like 11 or 12 and then waking up at 7 a.m. meant that I also had time to go to the gym and work out and like give that to myself as well and not feel like rushed in doing it, because now I am not in the habit of waking up at 7 a.m. and it feels impossible to like get a workout in during the day at any point. So it has to be in the morning. And I think that's kind of like emblematic of a lot of this. It's like by making things more stable for myself overall, I think it will help me deal with like other things that are outside of my control. Like as long as I can return to my baseline, things will be okay. They'll be better than they were last year. Because last year to me just felt like a long dissociative episode. Plus, working out would help me achieve some of my like other goals, like body goals, I guess. It's like important for me in terms of like my gender expression. I would feel better being more fit than I am right now. And I know I would feel a sense of accomplishment. It's just such a long thing. There's no quick way to like get to your body goals. So I think I just have to do myself the service of giving myself the space and the consistency and the time, really. It's just giving myself all of the things that I need to be able to accomplish my goals, which sucks and it's hard and it takes so much time, dude. It takes so much time. But yeah, those are pretty much my overarching goals. I really don't want to like write them down. I'm really good at idealizing. I'm really good at like putting together a list or a schedule that's like, okay, this is my ideal schedule that will solve all the problems in my life and everything will be better if I can follow it. But then the problem is I can never actually like internalize it and follow that list or schedule, even if it seems ideal. So I don't want to write up a list of my goals. I know some people say make tangible goals that you can like reach and like check off, but I don't know if that's the best way for me. I think for me, the better way to look at it is to just try to go in the general right direction. I think I am someone who is also kind of prone to perfectionism. You know, if I can't get it perfect, then why do it at all? And that's such a bad mindset. Like working out and like doing all these other goals, they're like long-term things, and not doing it one day doesn't mean you should just give up on the whole thing. You know, perfect is the enemy of the good, and if anything's worth doing, it's worth doing half-assed. And that's the mantra that I need. I need to be putting in something. A 50% is not really a failure in real life. It's a failure in school. But in real life, if you're doing 50%, that's like you're halfway there, bud. And that feels better than being 0% of the way there. So now that I've survived through last year, my goal this year, the main one, is to just be good to myself. Even the parts that are not fun, I need to be good to myself. That being said, I do want to acknowledge that I did accomplish some light goals that I had for last year. Last year, I definitely wanted to like cook more and get more comfortable in the kitchen. I've always watched a lot of like cooking content and stuff, but I have not cooked a ton in the past. But last year, I really tried a bunch of different recipes. I found some ones that I liked, some ones that I made again, others that I would like to get better at making. And I want to continue to make more food, especially because when you make it, you can make it exactly how you want it and hopefully find ways to make cooking easier, you know, by doing batch cooking and, you know, making for meals in the future. That's something that I've kind of missed living here with my parents. I have not been allotted much in the way of space, both like in terms of like a room, but also in terms of like in the pantry and like in the fridge and like that kind of thing. So I want to do more of that once I move out too, to like cook more and like keep doing that. Like that was good. I did a good job on that and I want to keep doing that and I am satisfied and I want to continue going in that direction. So what does that mean for this YouTube channel? That's a great question. And I have had a little bit of wine now. But I think that's a great question. And here's the answer. I am working on a few different videos. I've been playing a lot of different video games in the last year. And I think that will continue. And I would like to not just make Final Fantasy XIV videos. And I hope that's not a deal breaker for you, but if it is, I'm so sorry. I'm working on I'm not sure which ones will come out. You know, I can't say for sure, but I am working actively on a Minecraft long play video, and I'm also gathering footage for a Red Dead Redemption video. It's probably just going to be like a clip video. I'm playing through the first one for the first time, and it's been a lot of fun, and there's been a lot of goofs and gaffes, a lot of laughing and joking around. So I would love to like share that with the world. And I'm just honestly excited to get back into content creation. And I really hope that if this interests you, you stay along for the ride. I also do think that I would like to do more of these chit-chatty type videos over some gameplay. Right now, of course, we have some excellent Crystalline Conflict gameplay. I really like Crystalline Conflict. I really enjoy it. And I think, maybe I'm being a little conceited, I think I'm pretty good at it. Not to toot my own horn or nothing, but I think I'm pretty okay at Crystalline Conflict. As far as other stuff, I'm not sure. Anyway, I want to talk about Final Fantasy XIV. Flawless segue. So I still really enjoy Final Fantasy XIV. I just don't want to make any more like guides or like helping content. Maybe I'll give a tip or two on occasion, but I think primarily what I want to do in terms of Final Fantasy stuff, or I don't know, I've been enjoying Final Fantasy. I've really enjoyed Dawn Trail in a way that I think a lot of people have not enjoyed Dawn Trail, and I think that those criticisms were valid, and I don't begrudge anyone for not enjoying the story. I do think the story was really lacking, but I can say that a lot of the side content has been really good this expansion. It's been very good, much better than Endwalker. Sorry if that's a controversial opinion. I do believe that the Savage fights, I do believe that the extra dungeons, I do believe that the raids and the extreme trials have just in general been better. That's not to say that listen, Extreme number 1 and Extreme number 2, they're not my favorite. And I have a personal vendetta against Extreme number 2. But I will say that I still think that they are better, generally, than the extremes we got in Endwalker. And I will fight you on this, and I'm so sorry, but I am right and you are wrong. So, the Savage tier, it's been pretty good. I went to the Savage tier, I joined a new static, and I actually did pretty well. We cleared within the first month, I think. Sorry, I'm fiddling with a fidget. I believe we cleared within the first month or two, and it went very well, and I did pretty well. I parsed surprisingly well for myself, and I'm excited to see what other tiers come out. I've progged a little bit of the chaotic raid, but I have not gotten very far. It's really hard, like, logistically, to get 24 people into a raid, because all it takes is one person rage quitting or getting tilted for everyone to have to exit the game, and then we have to fill for one spot, and then typically when you leave, other people leave. They're like, I wasn't going to be the one to leave, but now that someone did leave, I might as well leave. And then you have multiple spots to fill, and then in the filling, people leave or they swap parties and blah, 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 blah. So for me, I have not really done a ton of chaotic raid prog, but I really want to. I've gotten to the beginning of phase 2. Bah, 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 bah. I know phase 2 is most of the fight, so that's not super impressive. And I would like to clear it, and I did think it was fun. The only thing that I like don't love about it is just the PF experience of having 24 people that you have to organize. It felt like already organizing 8 for like a regular Savage or Ultimate raid was like a lot. And this is like that on steroids. So I don't know, we'll see. So I'm still very much a Final Fantasy XIV Online.com fan. There are just a lot of other games that I've always played that I just never really shared a ton about. So I would like to diversify my content and be able to play more games and like share more of those experiences, because I just love video games, and I love to share my experiences with people. So if I could do both at once, that would be pretty poggy woggy. As I mentioned before, I have also been working on a VTuber model, and I'm excited for that. I don't think I'm going to release anything about it until it's like time to do testing and like all that kind of thing. But I have been working on it consistently. Where I'm currently living with my parents, it's not really conducive for streaming. I do enjoy streaming, and I love playing on stream, but it's just not really been an option for me. So I think the two things, working on the VTuber model and then moving out, will kind of free me up to do more streaming, and I'm really excited at that prospect. But that's been something that I'm really looking forward to. It's been a long time coming. I've never made a VTuber model before, and I am planning to do it all myself. I've already got the model set up, it's cut apart. I'm just working on rendering it, and then after that I have to rig it. I don't know if you know anything about modeling, but half of it is just getting the model and all the bits and pieces, and half of it is rigging it so it has a skeleton and can move. So I am almost done. I think I just have to render the hair. I think that's the last bit I left myself. And then after that, it'll be rigging, which sounds very intimidating. I've never rigged anything in my life, dude. And it's kind of complicated, but I'm still planning to do it like... So the software everyone uses for it, I think it's called Cubism Live 2D, question mark? Could be wrong. I'm gonna fact check that right now, actually. Okay, yes, I just looked it up. It is Cubism Live 2D. They have like a 45-day free trial, I believe it is. They have some kind of free trial. Let me see. Yes, 40, odd. It's 42 days. It's a 42-day free trial, and I will be trying to rig my model on that free trial. And if not, if I have to get a temporary subscription to like really get it sorted, then yeah, that's fine. I'm willing to do that. But I am going to be working on that, and I'm excited to see where that takes me. I am, as I mentioned, I don't think I've ever actually talked about my art, but I used to do a lot of art, and when I really focus and I really sit down and spend the time and effort, I can make pretty good products. So I'm hoping that this turns out well, but I've never done this before, so I'm also hoping that it is not too bad to wrap my head around. But I am looking forward to it, and hopefully, fingers crossed, you can look forward to it too. I'm sure that whenever I get to that point, I will probably make an announcement and beg people to show up. That's always the question, really. But yeah, that's like a little update on where I have been and what I've been up to, and also some like goals for this year. What about you? Do you have any like specific goals for this year? Things you want to try doing, or things that you are proud that you were able to do last year? It's always good to reflect. It's a great time. God, I can't, okay, oh my God, I cannot believe that I forgot to mention one of my goals this year, dude. One of my goals is to finally finish leveling all of my classes to level 100 in Final Fantasy 14 Online.com, dude. I'm so close. I bring it up now because it's kind of funny. I bring it up now because the series I was doing before was entirely based on me leveling. But that's gonna finish. I'm gonna finish that. I swear to God. I swear to God. I'm gonna finish that. I promise. I promise. And I'll let you know. Because we're kind of in this together now. But yeah, what about you? What are your goals for this year? What do you got going on? I'd love to hear it. Let me know. Anyway, I think that's where we're pretty much gonna end things today. I will be around, hopefully. And I hope you will be too. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening or day or night or whatever you got going on. See you next time. Bye.